Hello everyone and welcome. It's Selene here. I am going to give everybody a second to jump on and find us. I hope you're having a good week so far. I'm just jumping in to see if I can find your comments. So when you're here, if you say hello, I would appreciate that. And we'll share this over to the creative group. Let's see. If you're not a member of the Creating with Selene community, we have a group page and I basically post everything that I do over there at some point. This week we have a lot going on in the studio. We have a fundraiser coming up a week from Saturday live at Harmony Hall. And we have a card class that's going out today in the mail to people who ordered the Snowman Season card class. And then tomorrow night, we have a free online live workshop. If you're not a part of that group, please just let me know. Hey, okay, I'm seeing your comments. Hi, Brenda. So that's one of the reasons I didn't go live face to face today. I'm getting over a cold and I am doing much better. So I am still taking it easy, but I'm doing great. So anyway, today I thought, because I was just getting over a cold, that it might be kind of fun to go through this Love Santa tag kit. Now in the online store, this kit is only $19, but it packs quite a punch. It comes with enough to make 3 of each of these 4 designer tags. It comes with a roll of ribbon. Well, we'll call it baker's twine. It's cute. It's pink. Baker's twine. And then it comes with these embellishments, and they're really pretty. I don't know if you're catching them in the light, but they're sparkly, and there's 2 different sets of those, a large set and a small set, so we'll put those up here. Oh, I'm probably off the camera with those, huh? I was able to zoom in because I didn't show my face today, so it gives me a little more flexibility that I can zoom in and show you a closer look. Comes with the clear block, and they're not as nice as the ones that have the rounded edges, but you know what? For 19 bucks, it comes in the kit, and how cool is that? And it comes with this Love Santa Merry Joy stamp set. I think maybe we'll just stamp these and see if we can maybe make a contact sheet of them. And then it comes with a Night of Navy Stampin' Spot, and you know I'm not a huge fan of those, so I might pitch that, you never know, and bring out my big ink pad, but we'll see. And then these glue dots are for sticking the tags together. So really, if you're brand new to stamping, it has everything you need in the box. It also has these dimensional things, and these are the things that are sticky on both sides that you peel off and pop up. So pretty darn cool. All right, so I'm gonna start by, I'm just gonna move some of the stuff off my workstation. It has like a lot of little pieces. So what I think we should probably do is break into them. Hey, Pat. I was just putting your package together. So Pat ordered the Stamp-A-Stack version of the Snowman card class. The postage is all printed, so my husband will probably take that to the post office on his way to go get Alexis from school. So that's 8 of these little rectangles. And then there's 4 circles, and I'm just popping them out. Oh, wow. I was wrong. There's a lot more. There's 8 circles. Wow. And then, geez, we have 12 tags, so I don't know how that's going to work for math. Maybe it's just extra in case you make a mistake. I love that. So there's 8 of those, but we're only making 3 tags that I can see that have the circle on there. That's pretty cool. And then we have these longer rectangles. So I'm just popping these out and getting them organized so that when I put my kit together, and I start stamping, I can just play. So that's one transfer sheet. Wow. And we have the second one. Sorry, it's kind of boring with the white ones, but I wanted to kind of show you the kit from scratch. It would be a cool way to make some Christmas cards too. I could grab a ruler, but I'm gonna say that this is probably a card front size. So this is a card I just made with some things that are coming out next month. Isn't it pretty? But if I were to pop this Christmas tree out, for example, and go to stick it on, boom, it's the right size for a card front. So I can see myself making cards with these. Actually, this is what, this is the kit. The reason I'm diving into this is the kit that I want to use for my team meeting on Sunday. So for those that you, for those of you that are on my team, I think this month the make and takes are actually going to be to purchase this kit off your own ID instead of me. Usually I mail them a 4-card kit, but I think this month we might actually use this kit as the meeting. I think it's awfully pretty. So then I am popping out these tags. Oh my gosh, look at him. So cool. And the tree. So I got all of those popped. And then here we go. So I've got 2 of these so far. Hey, Donna, thanks for sharing. I appreciate that. Sharing is caring. These are really cool, though. Like, what's not to love about these? Okay, so that's 3 Santas and 3 trees. And I was told that this kit makes 12 tags, but I would say that if you have card fronts, that they would make awesome card fronts. And by the way, hello, it's that soft succulent color that I made that other card with. So I gotta love that too. But what bright, fun, so that's 3. I'm gonna move that just because it's, they're kind of big. Well, and I like that too. When you're making a card, sometimes you just want something that you can write like Love Selene on. You don't necessarily need a giant, so these elements are nice and big. I always wanted, when I see a package from Santa Claus, I always wondered if Santa should have his own tags. And boy, these would be fantastic tags from Santa Claus. So Santa Claus, if you're watching, you might want to consider getting a couple of these kits so that you can make tags for the kiddos. All right, so now I've got the yellow ones. I'm not sure what yellow this is, if it tells us in the description. That would involve me. Oh, Bumblebee. Ha! It's right there. Bumblebee, Just Jade, Night of Navy, and Polished Pink. See what happens when you read? I don't read the directions very often. I'm always writing directions, but it's funny. That's when I have my family trained so that they could pop in and say, I didn't know you could read. This is not a paper pumpkin kit. This is a kit that is in the store. It is called Love, Santa Tag Kit. So it is intended to be 12 tags. But there's also this like product that comes with it, and you can get matching bags for $7. So I'm kind of up in the air whether I want to fill them with gifts for teachers and make the tags to put on top, or if I want to make them into Christmas cards themselves, or maybe both. I have an event in November at the Trapp Family Lodge. A friend of mine, Laurie, is hosting a scrapbooking weekend. You know that scrapbooking is near and dear to my heart. And I think this is going to be one of the kits that I bring up to share with her scrapbookers. So like no matter what you use these tags for, you could use them to gift, you could use them to put on cards, you could wrap up treats with them, put them on a box. I was thinking that before I even go up there, that I would make up a few of the tags, like a few sections of these tags. I'll have more than one stamp set left over. And then show them all the different ways that they can use the tags to decorate their Christmas. You could even put them just on boxes when you give a gift. I mean, it could be just a tag, go figure. All right, so I've done all my popping. That didn't take long, just a few minutes, right? So I've got these cool little leaves. And then I have these scalloped circles that I'm guessing go with these circles here. So I'm gonna put those together. And then these little postage looking things go with those. And I think there's a thing for me to stamp on for those. Yes, there is. It's this rectangle thing. So those go there. And then these go with special delivery. And these go with Merry and Bright. Okay. So I've got my kit kind of sorted already, and I am doing it just based on the picture on the front. So I don't even need to read. That's a good thing, right? So I'm going to push this stuff off to the side just to get it off my work area. And I'm going to start probably with my favorite. I have a thing for Santa. There's no, don't tell my husband, but there's no secret about it. I think he would even know that I have a thing for Santa. He's my favorite. Okay, maybe it's because he brings me presents. I don't know. All right, so I am going to bring in this little circle, and it looks, I'm just looking at the picture here, and I've got 3 of these little tags, the round ones, and my my husband's a bowler. Doesn't he look a little bit like a bowling pin? Like if you could almost, if you just kept the line going, you could make a bowling pin out of that. Oh my gosh. That's really cool. I love it when I open something that should be really simple and that my brain fires to go somewhere else with it. That honestly makes me super happy. So normally I would, if I were just buying the kit and I was a brand new customer, I would just load them on this and then clean in between. But I don't need to do that because I have a bunch of blocks here on the table. For time's sake, I'm just gonna open my little Stampin' Spot, and I'm trying to slice the side here. I don't use these very often. I do prefer a full-size ink pad, but there are friends of mine, my customer Donna, I save all of these Stampin' Spots for her because she prefers them over a full-size ink pad. It just depends on what you like. So this Love Santa stamp is first on the hit list for these round little circles. Boy, I'll tell you what, no matter what's going on in life, I really love coming here on a Tuesday, especially if I don't have an agenda. Like you know, if there's nothing that I have to share and I can just sit and stamp, this is perfect. And it reminds me an awful lot. I'll remind you, we have a stamping group that stamps every Monday night. Bonnie Blanchard and my friend Cheryl are always there, and Liz Bailey comes and hangs out, and we all just do our own thing and we have fun. All right, so there's the Love Santa, and I stamped it with the Stampin' Spot, and I'm noticing that it looks a little dotty out of the gate, so I'm gonna give a little paint with Winkostella because we can fix that. And it will add a little shimmer to it. And then before I try and stamp with this stamp set again, because it is a brand new photopolymer set, so it fixed it, right? I'm gonna just give it a quick cleaning. And I'm also gonna grab the other ink pad. So this particular ink pad, the reason that I'm not a big fan of the little dot ones is because they are the old material. Our ink pads used to be made out of this material. It's like a felt. And then the new firm foam came along. And boy, I'm much more of a fan, especially with photopolymer sets, when it comes to the larger firm foam ink pads. So when I bring this up to my friend's event, I will probably make sure that I have the firm foam ink pad so that I can explain the difference. So let's go again now that I cleaned it, because it could be just that it's a new stamp. But I find that with the felt, that the ink kind of tends to beat up more when it comes to the photopolymer. But I'm really doing a good job here and giving it good coverage. And notice I went backwards. That's totally normal. So I still see some dots in there, and I'll be able to fix that with my Wink of Stella. But I'm gonna try stamping it with firm foam and see if it's any different. So with the firm foam stamps, I like that I can like watch it light up. And notice I'm not smushing down into it. I am only covering the surface of my stamp, but it gives a nice even coverage. I didn't clean in between that time, but look at the difference between the Stampin' Spot on a detailed stamp like that and the firm foam. Do you see the difference? So the quality of the bigger ink pad is probably bigger. So if you do pick up this kit and you get the spots, you can decide if you prefer the spots, that's fine. But know that Stampin' Santa here, she who loves to give stuff away, prefers just the straight ink pad because of the coverage. The firm foam material is just different than the old felt material, and they're different, but it's cool that they can make an ink pad this size, right? Okay, so with that, again, I could use the tiny little glue dots that came in the kit, and I could adhere and peel, right? Can you see me losing my mind with that? Especially since I'm a little denailed this week. I'm waiting for an appointment with my my nail lady who is back from leave. She had carpal tunnel surgery. And so now that she's back, I am waiting. So you might see me completely without nails before I get to see her, but I'm waiting for the best, you know. Here we go. So that's the Love Santa, and I just added my own adhesive to this tag to make it a little bit easier. And again, it does have these little dots. You can put them on, and then I would suggest using a take your pick stabber tool to take the top off. But I've never used them a lot, so that could be why I'm not a fan. If you have a tip that you'd like to share on how to use these buggers nice and easy, if there's a tip, please let me know. I'll be all ears. Hey Judy, so good to see you. I am finally making up this Love Santa tag kit. It's been in my stash for a while, and I gave kits like this out at my retreat, but I actually haven't sat down to make one, and I think they're so pretty. I just wanted to go for it. Okay. So I'm actually going to open the directions for this bugger because I don't know what it's supposed to look like. And it does look like there's dimensionals involved. Let's see. What's that? They only put 2 dimensionals on the back? I don't understand. Okay. You know how I roll. We might need more dimensionals too, but... Well, I suppose because it's a tag, it's okay that it only has 2. But because I'm going to put this on a card front, I'm going to put a few more. I don't ever want to send you a card in the mail and have like one side of my little things flopping down. So maybe 3 would be good. 4 is a little excessive, but you know, okay. So anyway, here's my bowling pin Santa. Oh my gosh, he really does look like a bowling pin. If you didn't see it before, I'll show you. This shape is killing me. If you look at the back and you were to like just cut it, You see the bowling pin? I can totally make bowling pins out of that. Challenge is on. So there's one. Totally cool. And it wouldn't matter if you didn't peel all dimensionals. It's not about them being sticky enough. It's just about no saggy sides. Maybe that should be like my blog address. No saggy sides. Yeah, it is. It's really adorable. And like I said, it's $19. So, you know, plus tax and shipping. I picked up a whole bunch of them because I plan to make more. And it does call for like a little bow in the directions. So I'm going to do that. Is the bow just to hang it? Oh yeah, the ribbon's just to hang it. So I'm not going to even bother with that just yet. Okay, so there's that. And if I were to put this on a card front, I would probably just trim that white piece right off. But we'll get there after. So that's the first one. Second one calls for the Christmas tree. And I have to bring my little parts thing back in here. I'm going to look at the front cover again. I definitely do better with a picture. So we got the Merry and Bright, and then the one with the stripes, and then 3 of these rectangle dudes. Okay. Now, since we said that we were going to make a contact sheet, while I have these out, I have a piece of Whisper White here. I haven't even cut it down yet, but it's fine. I'm just going to stamp that one Love Santa on there while I have this stamp on a block. And again, like I said, the firm foam, it comes out so luscious. You can just see it light up when you touch it to the photopolymer, and that's how you know you got a nice clean. And look at how clean that is in comparison to the one that we stamped that had bubbles, you know. So I really do prefer this ink pad. Why don't we stick with this one? Okay, so the next one was, I digress, Merry and Bright. So I need the and Bright. There's to, from, and special delivery, and the word Christmas. Oh, so I like that. You know what? Not for nothing. I know that we can do Merry and Bright. You know what? We'll do both. I really like, you know, I'm always looking for a good Merry Christmas. Because there are so many things that say Happy Holidays and all of that. And I just am a Merry Christmas kind of girl. Ho, ho, ho. We have a little tradition in our house. I'm going to stand up and get some more blocks. We have a tradition in our house that on Christmas we buy Jesus a birthday cake. So since Alexis was a baby or really young, I really wanted to drive the point home that Christmas wasn't all about Santa and presents, but that we also wanted to celebrate the birth of Christ. So we always buy him a birthday cake and we sing him happy birthday on Christmas. All right. So I like that you can do Merry and Bright, or you can do Merry Christmas. It's all what works for you, so you don't have to. I have a whole bunch of friends that are also Jewish. Lady on my team is Jewish. She comes to retreat, and I always try to have like alternate samples because it doesn't matter what you celebrate. We celebrate you. Okay, so here we go. Merry. And I'm just going to stamp all 3 of them because why not? We're here. And boy, this is going to make an awesome display from my my vendor fair up in Vermont. I'm very excited about it. Okay, so Merry. We'll just stick that to the side. And then we said that we were going to do Christmas. This one says and bright, but I want one like the original so that people know that they can stamp it whatever way they want. And bright. Is it 2 different sizes? No, it's just an optical illusion. Had my eyeball questioning for a minute. Christmas. Christmas. Beautiful, right? All right, I'm just gonna close that up because you know what happens. Bad things happen if I don't close the ink pad in between. And I'm gonna bring this back in, and this is like tiny, tiny directions. So I'm gonna flip this open again. See if I can find the, it's funny, you don't even need to be able to read though. They do picture directions, which works for me. So merry and bright goes on just underneath, and then the scalloped lines go underneath that, and then again the ribbon is just to hang it, and then it calls for 3 different gems, so or 5, but looks like 2 big and 3 small. So let's do what they said, and we'll put this one down first. Even when I make swaps, I'm a little bit behind on making my team swaps this week because I had a cold. But even when I make swaps, if I'm doing multiples of anything, I'll just line everything up and I'll do like the first one 3 times. And then I'll do the second thing 3 times. It goes much faster than it would if I was starting over each time. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's those 3. And the Seal Plus is a little bit bigger than my thing here, so I'm just sticking it down. Liquid glue would work really good with this too. So the merry, according to this, butts up against that image, and it's off to the side just a little. So I'm going to put adhesive on the 3 merries. Merry, merry, ho, ho. Yeah, the font is really pretty. And like I said, the price point, for me, it wasn't necessarily if I was going to get the kit. It was how many kits I wanted, because it only makes 12 tags. So I will definitely be opening more than one. And that's cool because it will make a good, it'll make a good raffle. Like the stamp set's really sweet. So if I want to give away a prize at an event, I could give away the extra stamp pad. And I can also see myself, so because Christmas is so little, I just find myself compelled to do this. I don't know why. I want to see more of that color. It makes me happy. And I am going to pull out the liquid glue. Hopefully it's flowing today. Oh, it is. Look at that. So Merry Christmas. And I don't have a pick tool on the table. I'm going to get up and grab one maybe. Just making sure it's up then before I get up. I don't see it. Oh, I'll be all thumbs without my take your pick tool. I'm sure it's here on the table somewhere. Oh, here it is. Sweet. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever leave home without the take your pick tool again. It's good for so many things. But I just like being able to pick up stuff fast, you know. So I'm just going to add a couple of these gems to where the artist had the baubles on the tree. But I could even put one like there, and then it calls for 5. So I'm just going to randomly put some, whoops, on my tree. Come on, get on there. It's like sticking to the putty. That's weird. That almost never happens. Okay, so that's the first one of the 3. And I think the same thing. I really like that it's got a lot of room on there, but I don't necessarily want all that white. So I don't know about you, but I think we should cut these. Aren't they cool? So we determined that they are matching the soft succulent color, because I made this card with, this is a sneak peek. Demonstrators can order the suite this month. And I just did a swap with this card. And so I was kind of saying, well, if you wanted to make these tags into Christmas cards, they would fit, and let's see if it's the right shape. And what do you know, it's the same color as what I was working, the soft succulent in color. Super pretty. But I think that's step 2. I think I'm going to go through these tags and make cards with one of the sets. And then I'm going to go back and do the gift bags. Oops. Not upside down, Selene. Boy, that would be embarrassing. But it would be perfect for on the fly, because, you know, imperfection's kind of my middle name. But you can do crafts. Everybody can do crafts. And there's no mistake that you can't go back and just fix. Either put another piece of paper or, well, and there have been days where I just chuck it in the barrel and go again, but knock on wood, we won't have to do that today. So here's the little pieces I cut off. I'm just going to get those off my work area. And we can go again. So that's the Merry and Bright, and I really do want to finish these. So how about if we put the other bits and bobs on our tree? Oh, it's so fun to just kind of wheel through and randomly drop them. People get nervous about this. They're like, where do I place the rhinestone when I'm doing random? And I'm like, well, it's not random if you feel like you need to like have a magic spot, you know. The yellow one was sticking on me again. Must be that color. Okay, and then there's the pop out. And again, if I were going to put this on a card, when I trim the tag off, I would probably just trim the white and keep the star intact, you know, add some Wink of Stella, because that's what I do. And then it said 1 pink. I was just going by the directions. Ha, I read the direction. Well, I don't know if you can call it reading. I looked at the pictures. Here we go. They're even less complicated than my directions. Because there's no words. You just follow the pictures. So funny. All right, so I'm going to move that out of the way. I got my gems going over there. And I got 3 Christmas trees. So far we've got Santa. And Santa loves everybody. So I love that. I don't know if you know that about me, but that's my own personal thing. I pretty much love everybody. Even the people that are hard to love. Let's see. All right, so we did these 2. Maybe we should grab the white one next. So I have this, and then there were like some of these pieces. And I think this one calls for a stamp. Let's see. So this one, oh yeah, you stamp the leaf twice. And then you put the other leaf on top, and then you stamp the joy. So let's start with stamping our leaf. I'll just move those for a second. I got ahead of myself there. And this is another stamp in that set. And I'll put it on this big block I have right here. And it looks like this is the top of the tag because of the way the orientation is. And it says to stamp it twice, so we'll go with that. And notice again, I'm just watching it light up. I am not smushing down into the ink pad. It's a beautiful thing when you just watch it light up. So we'll go this way. And there is a couple dots in that. So again, if you're ever having a brand new photopolymer set and you have that happen, the best thing you can do is to give it a little clean. When it comes off the transfer sheet, it's like it's like they're making chocolate almost when they make these, because it comes out of a mold. So when it comes off the mold, it can be spotty. And all of these sets are hand checked by eye to make sure that there's no low spots. So someone actually physically goes through them. It's really amazing to be in Kanab and watch them make these stamps. So that's the first one. Hey Val. Hey Jill, good to see you. All right. So yeah, like if you ever have a brand new photopolymer set that's acting funny out of the gate, give it a clean. And like I said, I really do prefer the firm foam with photopolymer over the little ink spots. So that's why I switched. But I mean, they still do the job. And there are people that swear by the little 1x1 ink pads too. Like I said, I'll be saving that one for Donna. She gets all of my stuff. Okay, so I'm just going by the directions here. It says to put these on next, and I popped those out of the template at the beginning of the video if you joined us late. And we could use the glue dots that came, but this I think might be a little faster. So I'm just going to use my liquid glue for that. I could use a tape runner too, but it looks like some of the leaves are thinner than the tape runner itself, so this will just be fast. I like fast and easy. So if you are getting this kit, it might be good to have a collection of adhesives on hand so that you can decide what you want to do. Okay, so I'm going to set those aside for a second. It has us stamping the word joy on these. Again, I'm a huge fan of joy. If you don't have joy, I recommend that you try it once in a while. Sometimes you might have to make your own. I'm here all day. I'll tell these jokes until you turn me off. It's okay. Yeah, the stamp cleaner makes a big difference. So this is the mist. This is the scrub, and then there's a mist. And the mist now comes in a bigger bottle, but I take the bigger bottle and I refill my old little ones. I'm just going to stamp this, clean it now because we had problems with it with some of the other ones starting off. So there might have been a film on there. Okay, so let's bring in some joy. No puns here. But I hope your day is filled with it. Joy, that is. Let's see. So I really like these types of stamps because it sort of fills up the whole paper, but then it's surrounded by the white again. So I like that look. It adds a whole nother layer without needing another layer. Oh, that's my heater. It's October in Massachusetts. I turned it off, and I finally called Uncle today and turned on the heat. I think it's like a goal every year to see how late we can wait before we have to turn the heat on. In my studio, because we built it, I have a little space heater, so I can just shut it off if it's built right into the wall. And it's so simple. Yeah, I like them too, Linda. They're and like I said, if you're on the team, you can expect that this month the team meeting projects are going to be out of this kit. So you may want to place a small order and get yourself one. They're only $19 for the kit itself. And like I said, I'm going to be showing all sorts of different ideas that you can do with them. And of course, I'll share them out afterwards for sure. Our meeting is Sunday. if you're not a member of my team, oh, by the way, yeah, so there's a huge stamp sale coming tomorrow, and I was a little bit fuzzy on the details, so I didn't want to just pop it out to you if I didn't know exactly what was going on, but it's looking like that they are putting every stamp set in the main catalog on sale tomorrow for 15% off. So if you're going to take advantage of that, know that I have a workshop tomorrow night, and it has a card kit incentive. So if you place an order and you go over 35, you'll get the card kit, and then if you bump it up to 60, you get a free embellishment. So if you have a couple of stamp sets on your wish list and you pick up what you need, you could get a card kit in the meanwhile. The workshop tomorrow night is focusing on blends and how to use them. And it's going to feature the Be Jolly stamp set with, of course, my favorite, Santa. If you want, I can preview those cards too. They're all like within an arm's reach up on my board. But that's tomorrow night at 7 in that private Facebook group that I do the online workshop in every single month. I can link it in the description of this video as soon as I am finished. So I'll also link the link to order this kit. It is so pretty. Okay, so that is the third one, and I know that I shouldn't, but I can't help it. These leaves need Winkastella. They're just so happy, and it's joyful. There were rhinestones on this too that I missed. Hang on. I want to see if I can see them on the... Oh, here we go. So it's like 2 over there, 2 up there, and 1 there. So we'll try and make it like they did in the picture this time. I think I ignored where they put it last time. Let's see. So we've got take your pick and rhinestones. So it looks like 2 big pink. So 1 here and 1 here. And then it's given me 2 little yellow, but then I'd run out. So I don't know. I'm just going to go with the other color that's right there. It looks so pretty. I don't know what the color that is. It's stunning. Wow. I don't know if it's a purple or... Wow. I really like that. And maybe I'll switch them out this time. I'll do... So that's the other thing with these kits. You don't have to make them exactly. Once you have the parts, you can swap them out and do whatever makes you happy at the time. There's 1 there, and then they put 1 down in there. So that's number 2. Almost time for my afternoon Java. Anybody else do that in the afternoon? Do you have like a pick-me-up at usually mine's around 3, but I had the video, so it'll be my after video reward. So that's 3 more tags. Okay, so we're on to the last design. Let's see. This looks like a punch buggy. My gosh. It is so cute with all the, it could be a yellow truck. It could be a school bus if you have kids that are taking the bus. What a great thing to give the bus driver. So it could be, just because it's so Bumblebee. I really love it. Okay, so special delivery. And I'm looking at the picture again because, you know, it's a kit. And there's a couple of stamps that are in here that I didn't use. One is a present. And you know what I'm going to do for these? I'm going to stick them on the other block, the one that we didn't use. And we can use them to make our contact sheet at the end. So I'm putting them on this block, the one that came with the kit. So you get a block, you get the ink, you get those little glue dot things, and then everything you need to make the 12 tags. And a stamp set. I mean, wow. Okay, special delivery. I'm going to put this on another block. I need to get up again. Get one more block. Okay. So that's why they made that rectangle tag so long. It was for this guy. So when we used it with the and bright and the word Christmas, we used a pair of paper snips to cut it down. We don't need to do it with this one because I think it's going to fit. Yeah, it's meant to fit that one. So then I've got these little polka dot strips. Aren't they cute? Oh my gosh. It's really fun to work with. Hey Val, thank you so much. Oh, you didn't know to take the black ring out. Yes. So so what Linda was saying was she gets jammed up with her Wink of Stella. There's a black ring that comes in here. If you don't take the black ring out, there's a pin in here, and the pin is what connects the glitter to the brush. So if you don't like poke it and prime it, you have to push it both sides until you see the ink in there, and then you stop. If you see stuff in here and you don't just play with it to work it, then you'll end up with a mess on your project. But then you press these two buttons to prime it if it's not coming out. All right. That's a good point though, Linda. Okay. Special delivery. And I'm going to move this just a little because I'm going to whack the camera with my head if I don't. I got them up there too high. Hopefully I'm not outside the frame, but I just had to move it so I wouldn't whack my head on the camera. Third world problems. All right, here we go. It's not always easy, like doing a Facebook Live, because you have to consider you are the camera crew. You're reading feedback. You're still trying to sound coherent. So I always try and do a good job, but if I'm ever not perfect, I am grateful that you're only here for the crafts. Okay, so that's the one part of the transfer sheet. I just want to make sure that before I put the stamp set back on the thing and put it away, that I stamp all of my images so that I can cut this off and put it with my stamp set. And then I'm not going to be trying to mess with my eyeballs to figure out what it says. I like doing this with some sets, especially like that font is so pretty, but it's very delicate. So like I would have never known that there was a Merry Christmas because it called for Merry and Bright and I added the Christmas. So there's my transfer sheet. So when I go back to play with this set, I'll know what to do. So I just can cut that off and that'll be ready to roll. Back to my tags. Hey, Carolyn. Oh, you had a doctor's appointment. Well, I hope everything went well. Let's see. What did I do with my red things? Oh, there they are. So first thing we need to do is put the little doohickey on. And you could use those little glue dots. That's what it calls for. But I'm going to, for the sake of time, I'm going to put this down here. And it's down just above the grill on the directions sheet. And that makes sense because you wouldn't want to cover all those presents. They're way too pretty. So let's do that. So I'm really excited about tomorrow's Facebook online workshop. We're going to be showing you the beginning of blends. Hey, my UPS just got here, so it just depends. We might get the bell ringer. There's one guy who just likes to ring our bell. So I can hear him parked out front. Speaking of special deliveries, the brown truck is here. Gotta love it. but he's almost here every day, so it's offset here, so I'm gonna, well, it fits so perfect there. I'm gonna put it in the middle because it looks like if I don't offset it, it sits perfect in that little red box. Oh my gosh. Is that not the cutest ever? I totally want to make a card with this. And I think we should. So give me a second and we'll get that. Yeah, I like the contact sheet because then I know exactly what I've got. And I'll clean all these stamps and put them away later. You don't need to be here when I clean up. But, all right, so I've got my 12 tags made just like that. And let's see, what time is it? It wasn't even an hour and they're all done. But now I'm feeling like I really want to make some cards. So I have this idea, ruh-roh. I'm just going to move the stamps over. Oh my gosh, my table's going to be such a pit, but that's okay. I got all of these leftover embellishments. I have all of these leftover shapes, so I can use these to stamp the Love Santa on and maybe make some more cards later. There's a whole bunch of leftover pieces when you're done, which is really cool. And like I said, I did finish, so that's good. All right. And those can all be put aside to be cleaned. But now that our stamping is done, I can preview some stuff that came in yesterday. We had this Eden's Garden that's coming out next month, and I just noticed that it matches this kit. This is the Love, Santa Tag Kit, Carolyn. So I'm looking at these designs, right? And they look a little busy to me, right? I already did a swap with this one. Actually, that's my swap. Ready? Isn't it pretty? Ugh, so pretty. And I'm looking at these designs and I'm thinking, oh, what am I going to do with this? But I'm looking at this one specifically because I'm looking at these cards and thinking that they could be awfully fun on some sort of ombre background. So I like this one on the darker. And I like that one on the lighter. Well, maybe in the middle, I don't know. And then this one, I don't know. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna cut this into quarter sheets. So I'm gonna cut my designer paper, and my cutter's over there, so forgive me that I'm gonna be away for a second. But I'm gonna cut this designer series paper down to 5 1/4 by 4, and I'm gonna do the whole sheet. So I'll be right back in 1 second. So here we go. So you can see that I just trimmed them right out of the paper and cut them to 5 1/4 by 4. So now that I did that, I can move all that designer paper out of my way. But I mean, like, you could put it on any of these. This is that Eden's Garden stuff that's coming out November 1st. So I'm sorry to tease you, but it's just, it caught my eyeball because I was working with the same color. So now, what I want to do, because I cut 6 pieces, I want to take some cardstock and make some bases. So you guys know how to do this, right? All you do is you start with this is just basic card cutting. You just start with a piece of paper and score it at 4 1/4. And I'm going to score 3 pieces because I cut that designer paper into 6 pieces. So those are 5 1/4 by 4, and these I'm doing 4 1/4. And then I'm going to cut them at 5 1/2, which is exactly in half to make my card bases. So one moment, and I will do that. Right? These are perfect. Like, I'm telling you, if you're friends with Santa Claus, you should really tell him about these tags. These are perfect tags from him. Okay, so here we go. I cut those in half. And how about if we do this? First. So this was the dark one that I wanted to use with that Christmas tree, right? Because it's contrasting colors. That not cool? All right. So I'm going to grab a pair of paper snips and just trim the tag portion off. Now we have that other ribbon. We could do a Z, but I think it needs more than that. Let me see what I have here. Okay. I like these two because they go with the paper. And it's got a little bit of sparkle, and it pulls in the bumblebee without being bumblebee. So what do you say if we put some adhesive on the back of this? That's an A for Alexis, by the way. She just came in from school. And I'm going to go off the edge. I'm going to come around, and I'm going to make that Z that I like so much. Just come around the back, and then booyah. So now that I did that, I think I'll add some dimensionals to the back. Well, does this already have dimensionals? It doesn't. Ah, yay. So this one doesn't have dimensionals yet. So I can put this up on dimensionals and not worry that when I mail the card, it won't need extra postage. If you love dimensionals and you do double layers, they'll charge you if your card is more than 1/4 inch thick. So I usually keep it to 1 layer of dimensional if I can help it for the postal people. And here we go. Just cutting into the side of these to use them up. It's all about the right height. And support, of course. About support, too. Let's see. Alrighty. So there we go. I'm going to peel a few of these. Like I said, I don't have to peel them all off. I don't care if it's sticky all over. I just care about the height, and that if it goes through the mail that you won't end up with anything weird happening on one side of the tree or whatever. And then, of course, got to add some Wink of Stella. And I feel like that tree will call for something like there, yeah. And then at the end, this is a beautiful ribbon. This is in the main catalog. This, I'm so sorry about that. Someone was calling me while I was live. Ugh. All right, somebody was calling me while I was live. I think I'm back. So I'm just gonna trim that off. Okay, so that's the first one, right? Okay, so we've got more card bases here, and we've got more card toppers. So let's play. I wish they would stop. They keep calling. Okay. So here's my special delivery tag. And again, I'm gonna, I did set up my do not disturb before I went on live, but maybe it didn't take or something. Sorry about that. So I clipped the top of that tag off, and boy, this one really calls for like a bow, but I don't think that twine is thick enough, so I cut 2 pieces so that I can make it a little thicker. See if I can do it on the... It's harder when my nails aren't done nice. But I will. I'll get over there. Where I haven't been feeling 100%, I don't want to take any chances that I could make someone sick, so I didn't get my nails done. Ta-da! Okay, so there's my bow. And it would be weird if it was hanging down into the street. Okay, so... Now I'm just going to cut these at different angles, like different heights. I don't want them to all be like uniform, like I cut them off all at once. So I like when they're a little bit whimsical because of this design. So I just cut them just a little bit differently. I can always cut them again if it's not right. And this time I'm going to just pull the rhinestone off that ended up there. And then, it just wants to be a part of my life. All right. And then, I think I want it down like here. Like, I don't know why. Not in the middle. Like, I don't know where we should put the bow. On top of the punch buggy? All right, you guys tell me. So, it's actually not a few new sets, Flo. You could get a few new sets tomorrow with the sale if you wanted to, but you could get the kit as well, and this is just $19 as an add-on. It comes with the set. What do you think? Should we put the bow at the top of the punch buggy or at the top of the blue present? You guys vote for me, and I'll stick this part down while you vote, because I just can't decide. Oh, and look at this side. It's got like little gold sparkles in it. Oh, I love that designer paper too. Use a little present stamp and add a few in the background. Oh, that's a really good idea. But I would have to do that on another card because I just stuck this one down. So I can do that, but you got to tell me where the bow goes. So the present stamp I think is still on my little background transfer sheet here. And then I gotta find the ink pad buried. It's under here somewhere. Over the white bow on the package. Okay. In the meantime, because I was looking for other stuff, I lost my bow. So, over the white present. Oh, over the white bow on the package. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. And for the presents, you think they should be like randomly stamped like a background? I do like our other blocks better, but it's cool that it comes with one and that you wouldn't have to like buy one if you were brand new and didn't have any. So there must be something on my stamp there. You see how it's got that little dot on it? I might have picked it up either from the stamp pad. Sometimes it happens if you're working with and you get fibers on your ink pad or whatever. So I'm gonna clean my stamp and go again. And I can fix that, by the way, with a blender pen. So like a random pattern like this. That does add some interest to it, doesn't it? I like that. Good idea, Pat. Oh, you know what we could do? I know that you meant to do that for the punch buggy or whatever, but that's really cute for him. My gosh. All right, so hang on. I'm gonna go back and see if I can find that bow that I tied because it's MIA on the table now. Oh, here it is. So on the white, oh, it goes right perfect there. See, you guys are the best. All right, so I'll peel this guy off. And there it is. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so that's the second one. And then we started the third one. I don't have any white ribbon on the table. I only have the gold and this. So give me a second. I'm gonna see if I can find something appropriate. I really like this one. It just came in again. I had used it all up. It's that the glittered organdy ribbon. All right, so I'm going to move those for a minute and find the end. Okay. So how about I love this ribbon. It's so easy to work with. I'm just gonna tie a bow around the designer paper. And I'm doing the loop, swoop, and pull thing. And nobody ties a beautiful bow out of the gate. So you notice that I'm messing with it just a little bit and that it's still attached to the roll. And that is because all of that ribbon that I would normally cut off and waste doesn't get wasted when I tie it off the roll. So when you're doing it at home, if you can get in the habit of doing that, then the only part that you'll cut off is the like this part. And then, so that's the waist, and that's not wasted at all. Okay, so it's so pretty. Like, I love it. And this totally goes with Santa. My Santa bowling pin. It's so funny that that's a bowling pin shape. For this one, ooh, I'm tempted to kind of like, all right, hang on. I stuck that too fast. Let me see if I can get it up. Booyah. I want to slip that ribbon up just a little bit. And I put the adhesive on there, so I could do that. And then, booyah. So now it looks like the tag is coming off. And I can just slip that under the ribbon where the knot is. What a cute idea that is. You guys are the best. Oh, and look, there's like a little spot you can pop that out of. So there's a little more detail on his hat right there that'll show through on the green. And I do love the Wink of Stella on the Love Santa part. Now, if I did the tags afterwards, I'm gonna try. Look at that, booyah. I could have made the Love Santa straight to begin with, but now I can just do it. So now it's straight on my card, even though Santa's crooked. Okay. So that's number 3. Wow. Okay. And then number 4, I'm wondering if we should even use the designer paper at all. Like, it's pretty. Let's see. Oh, I have an idea. Hang on a second. Oh, and because it says joy, I'm going to grab the other ink pad. Hang on one second. Oh, maybe I'm not. All right, so that ink pad is MIA. I probably used it last night on my swaps. So if I don't, oh, yep, it's right here on the table. If it was any closer, it would be under my nose. So this is the same as the ink pad, as the cardstock, and it's the same as that cutout with the joy, with the leaves. So I'm gonna take the words. Oh, mine just came in too, Carolyn, my paper pumpkin. And I'm gonna make like a background. And I'm not like really even giving it too much fuss. I'm just gonna fill in until I run out of room. That one's not perfect. We'll have to make sure we put the tag there. Or I could try again. I'll try and put something there. At this point, I probably should have cleaned the stamp again, because sometimes if it gets like that, you know that it's time to go. But that's okay, because we can just do that. And when in doubt, cover it up, add another layer. Nobody's gonna know. Right there. And it's cute that it's peeking out. And I really liked the Wink of Stella on the navy on the last card, so I'm gonna fill that in with Wink of Stella just to give it a little sparkle, and it makes that image nice and solid. And how about a quick topper for that? Yeah, the tags are beautiful. I'm so glad that I took the time to dive into this kit, because I'll be making a bunch of things with it, and then I'm going to make up another kit in its entirety just to bring to that event that I'm doing up in Vermont in November. It's over my anniversary weekend, and my husband and my daughter are coming with me. They are just so supportive and sweet. I'm very lucky. It's kind of like a family unit thing. We do everything together. And I have to say, while I wasn't feeling good, my husband took such good care of me. So I am very lucky. Oh, this one. So I like this, I really do. Is it missing something on this side? You let me know if this one's missing something. And while you're typing, I'll show you the other three, which I really love. The Love Santa. And then, oh, you know what? I like this one too, but I think, where did those little embellishments go? Maybe we'll, oh, fun. The ones that we can see the center of, I'm putting a rhinestone on those, on the background presents. That was Pat's idea for the present. Wow, that was really awesome. I'll pick that up after. So I like the rhinestones on that one. And then the Merry Christmas with the ombre background, so cool. And the joy. And what about that? I just don't know about this one. I really think it needs something. Maybe another ribbon? It's so true. Absolutely true. Maybe, I don't know if I can lift this at that point. Did I green glue it? I don't remember. I must have used tape runner because it's letting me pull it. So I'm gonna do this like a road. I don't know. It's still not right, is it? I kind of like it like that. Like I just want to tie another ribbon right there and have it like popping up the sides. Roads, where we're going. We don't need roads. Let's see. All right. I'm crazy. It's official. You guys knew that already. Ready for this? I'm going to take two pieces again because I do like it doubled. This candy cane kind of stripe thing. And we're going to tie up the road. How's that for different? And then again, I'm going to chop those at different heights, lengths, so that they don't look perfectly symmetrical. And I can always trim them. I just wanted a little extra there. Let's see. We'll go a little shorter on that one. Oh, that's better. That's so funny. Like how something so simple. And to mail this, I would just fold it over. Like I'll just fold it over like that. And then when they pull it out of the envelope, it'll pop up. Totally different. Something new. Yeah. But you know, like anything works. You can go up the side. Yep. Look closer to the edge. That's a good idea too. But I have 12 more. I have what, 8 more tags to play with. So I could make 12 Christmas cards out of this kit. And it would be pretty good. What do you think? I think they're pretty fly. So thank you so much for stopping by this week. I will see you tomorrow night at the online workshop at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in that online workshop group. I will put the link up in the comments of this video, as well as the link to this kit for just the tags. And like I said, that was a preview of the Eden's bundle for next month for those of you that are customers. If you're a demonstrator, check your account because you can already order that bundle. Stamp Out Breast Cancer is a week from Saturday. If you've already donated, thank you so much. We've already raised over $1,000 for breast cancer research. I'm hoping that even though I was sick and I got it out a little bit late, that we'll have as a remarkable result as we did last year. But every dollar counts. So if you're only donating $1, well, I appreciate you just as much. And let me see. I think that's it. We've got, I got the snowman cards going out today, and everything is good. We're on the up and up. So I will see you guys next week here at Tuesday, or I'll see you tomorrow night at the online workshop. Thank you.